to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll do roll call. Myers, here. Rushmore, here. Burnwell, here. Clark Hubbard is here. Lincoln is absent. So we got a really busy meeting tonight. Is there somebody who'd at least be willing to write down the motions and seconds of who, yeah, I got a lot to go through. I can't take the minutes tonight, but, if you could just write down when we do motions.
Okay.
And, who makes them, who seconds. First item is approval of the agenda. You guys all should have a copy of it. I just wanted to note that they're under the new business when we get to the new proposed budget and general appropriations. There's kind of a bunch of little sub items we'll go through on that. So one of those being salary resolutions. We did on our desks here, when I got here, have a resignation letter from Todd Lincoln. So we'll go ahead and add that to at the end of new business. Did anybody else have any additions or changes to the agenda? Then I will go ahead and make a motion to approve the agenda with the adding of the Lincoln resignation to the end of new business. Is there support? I support. Okay, motion's been made and supported. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Hear that. All right, we have, next item is approving minutes. So we have 3 sets of minutes to approve. Special meeting from 5/9, a special meeting from 5/23, and a special meeting for the budget workshop on June 3rd. Everybody got a copy of those? Any changes or comments on the minutes? I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion that we approve all 3 draft minutes as presented. Is there support? Motion's been made and supported to approve all 3 minutes. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, public comment on the agenda items, but I just would ask that you save your budget comments for when we open up the public hearing, when that's a little closer to when we'll be working on the budget, because we would like to have those fresh in our mind when we get into that. And we do need to have actually because it's a public hearing, we'll have to make sure we document everybody who made a comment when we get to that, just FYI when we get there. But anyways, we'll open it up to just public comment on agenda items, but again, save those budget comments for the public hearing. Okay, moving on. Treasurer's report. Dutch.
Okay, so, the beginning balance for the township, is $420,000.14. That will not balance to your ending for, the May 6th meeting. Joyce took it right to the day when she resigned. So I took everything back to May 1st, and the whole month of May is in this report. So for the township beginning balance, $420,000.14, $43,312.75 income. Expenses are $16,639.39. The ending balance is $446,673.50. Fire district, beginning balance of $51,620.67. Income is $7,296.47. Ending beginning balance is $58,917.14. Honeymoon Heights Lights, beginning balance is $9,851.17. Income of $1,804.27. Ending balance is $11,655.44. We have two CDs. I did break them apart. They both will mature this November, so we are doing switching of the banks, but we're gonna leave those CDs there until they mature. So the beginning balance and ending balance are both $112,568.08. I believe interest will accrue at the end of June. I think we get interest every 3 months. Everything balanced to Todd. We balanced everything through the May 31st. Bank statements balanced. We balanced the QuickBooks, so everything was equal there. One other thing I had from Joanne at the county, she sent us a notice of unpaid personal property taxes, delinquent from 2023 tax roll. There was a personal property tax parcel for $9,679.96. So I guess that's our responsibility to try to collect that. So I have sent a letter with a copy of Joanne's notice of the warrant. Hopefully we can collect those taxes. So, also I did go down and we have opened bank accounts with Community First Federal Credit Union. That's supposed to start July 1st. The tax roll will start automatically, changing the eGov accounts, which is where people pay their taxes online, starting July 1st. We got that all taken care of and set up. The only thing we don't have yet is we need in the minutes who can sign the credit card so that the credit union can get us a credit card. We're getting rid of the debit card from Mercantile and getting a credit card through Community First. That was what was decided, I guess, a couple months ago.
And I do have that under the business.
Okay.
First off, I want to say really compliment you on the formatting of this. Having that clean cutoff with the bank statement makes it really clear to board members, and being able to see the outstanding checks and know that balance is the QuickBooks, and having all the detail with dates and the check numbers is very nice. So kudos to you for this. The other thing is I want to thank you. Tax bills went to the printer Friday, and I know that it was a lot of work, and you did awesome. And just also want to thank Angie at Great Lakes Assessing, just really nice person, really helped us out, and you guys worked well together. And
that worked well. That was a good find.
It was. So just want to thank you for all the hard work that you've done.
Good job.
With what we found, though, nothing.
Yeah, what she had quoted us.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
Any other questions for Dutch on the treasurer's report? Looking for a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
I make a motion to approve.
Is there support? Okay, motion's been made and supported to approve the treasurer's report. Further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Well, clerk's report. I guess I will read the June bill details. So we have, actually, make sure it didn't change from the one I have. It's the same. Okay, so we have the three consumers bills, $28.77, $180.21, $20.50, DTE, $150.74, Village Dumpster, that would have been for cleanup day, $808.56, water bill, $52.44, Lakeview Area News, $15 for the classified ad for treasurer, Point Broadband, aka Casare, $75.82, Brian Buhalt, Cemetery Sexton, $675, Dave Kelsey, zoning administrator, $494.10, the assessors, net checks for each one, $14.10.46 and $7.43.77. Clerk rental, $150. postage, $1,137.70. Corrected prorated last paycheck to Joyce Greaser for $254.66. Prorated check for Dutch Rushmore, as in the official treasurer capacity, $891.38. And then corrected, check to Dutch Rushmore in the deputy, role, $45.47. Community First Federal Credit Union, $10 to open the tax account. Foster Swift, $100. Spectrum Printers, it's had to do with the postcards that the county sent out for early voting, $1,538.27. Board wages, $3,380.72, and you must have not included Miranda Reynolds for the deputy there, because she's listed separately, $246.27. FICA payment for the May payroll that was due June 15th, $1,640. Another invoice from Foster Swift, $600. Summit Fire for the upgrading the fire extinguishers in here, $716.76. Trusted Solutions Accounting, $1,592.50. Great Lakes Assessing, $731.32. And then these next three items have to do with correcting 941 payments that Blaine worked on. We had a payment for $21.42, one for $129.17, and one for $254.50. That all had to do with incorrectly filed 941s. Montcalm County Road Commission, so this amount he wrote on here is incorrect, and I think he wrote a check for that, that $97,2881. That should be $7,783.05, because that bill was, they billed us for 1,250 gallons per mile, and it's supposed to be 1,000. Remember, if you remember correctly, they shorted us. So they sent a revised invoice, and I'm pretty sure I forwarded that to him, but, so we're gonna have to get that fixed. And then, what's he got on here? So he's missing, what's the next one you guys have?
McKenna.
Okay, McKenna is $268.75. That is all we owe them. I've been working with them. If you recall a few meetings back, we had missed some invoices for being paid. They're gonna credit us a one-time credit of $2,150 as a good faith gesture. As far as that would have been a unpaid billing from January. There were two invoices for $2,150. They're gonna credit us one of those. Okay, so we did still owe this little $268.75. There should have been a check to Big E Technologies for $679.97. Did you have that, Dutch, on your desk?
Yes.
Okay, so if everyone wants to add that, $679, because they were here Friday. Eric was from Big E and installed our surge protecting equipment on the computers. So I would like to get that approved. And it sounds like the check just didn't make it on this list. Okay. So, any questions or comments on the bills? So I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion to approve the June bills minus the road commission chloride payment until we get the correct amount. Is there support for that? Support. Motion's been made and supported to pay the June bills minus the chloride invoice. Further discussion? We'll do roll call. Burnwald?
Yes.
Clark Hubbard, yes. Rushmore?
Yes.
Myers?
Yes.
Motion passes. Okay. So, yeah, we'll get that redone for the road commission. So a couple other things that Todd were here, I wanted to ask him about. One was that PAR plan grant. I did ask him, if he had submitted for reimbursement. It was due May 1st, and he says he mailed something, but, he couldn't, unless you can prove that, you know, sounds like we're out of luck. So that was, I believe, $2,300 that we were awarded, and we're not, paperwork was not submitted. So I think we're gonna X that off. He did file the election reimbursement, for the presidential primary. I think it was around $2,200. I'm not sure when we would expect to get that. I think he said it takes a while. There's a couple deadlines coming up for the election as well, which I would have liked to ask him about. One is the military and overseas voters. Those ballots, I believe, are due this week, June 22nd. I don't know if we have any, but we're gonna have to ask him. And then, June 27th is the deadline when absentee voter ballots must be made available to voters, and the beginning of the period which drop boxes must be accessible for 24 hours a day. So we'll have to follow up with him on that. Okay, we approved the bills. Moving into other reports, he's not here to give a fire district report. Zoning, we'll go into David Kelsey.
Okay. Okay, for last month, there was at 7540 Schmid Road, a lean-to, 1913 young men, a deck, and a roof over the deck. 947146, a pole barn. At 11929 Cherry Drive, a garage. At 10510 Bear Ridge Road, a carport. At 9657 and 46 garage, and then at 10194 Tamarack Road. Now for the update on the violations, the active and not active, on 11565 Elm Drive, I issued the second ticket. It goes to court on June 21st, which I believe is this Friday. And 8304 Almy, I issued a ticket back in 4/28 for blight. I'm waiting for the court's response on that. 6180 James Drive, 5/28, I issued a ticket for blight there. I'm waiting for the courts on that. At 11589 Juniper, at 311, there's a bench warrant. They haven't caught him yet, I guess. So, and then I had one complaint for James Drive, no address. And they said there was multiple campers and tents on the property, and they were spending the weekend there. I drove out there twice, never saw anything at all. So I told the guy, give me an address and fill out a complaint form, because, you know, I can spend every day going out there and there's no violation. So, and he never did call back after that. So that's.
Yeah, I've had several calls on James Drive that there is, one, the blight, and then all these campers, but again, nobody wants to fill out a form and
Yeah.
give us an address, so, I guess we'll just kinda leave that until somebody will, you know, say where to go, so. Any other questions for Dave? Okay, we'll move on to land divisions, Marcy.
There has been nothing this month,
Okay.
so no phone calls.
Easy peasy. Okay. Planning commission, David?
We're still working on the Lake Residential District. There was the last meeting we had, somebody come in about the Lakeview Meadows out there by Fitzner, wondering about putting mini homes in there, 480 to 500 square feet, and our minimum was 800. We said we would, when we get to that part in our zoning, we'd work on it. And then our next meeting is July 17th, not the 10th, and we approved it, just board member.
July 17th, and that's at 6 p.m., right?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions for David? Okay. Moving into the supervisor's report, so in the assessing department, July border review is tentatively scheduled for July 16th at 1 p.m. That would be a special meeting, so we'll have to, the assessors are working on getting the notice for the window and the website, and it is the normal date in July for board of reviews. If we wanted to have a different date, we would need board approval, so, but we're good on that, we don't need it. Roads, just FYI, MDOT is paying for additional brine, on roads that feed into M91 because of increased traffic. So if you see brine trucks out, along those roads, it's not the township who's paying for that, that's MDOT doing that. And then, the road commission is well aware of the extra use that Youngman Road is getting, with the detour, so, they're monitoring it. Mark Christensen at the road commission said they have, good traffic studies and good before the detour pictures, so we're hopeful that, MDOT, he did mention they have an escrow fund for repairs and stuff, but we're hopeful that they will, after this project's completed, will come to the table, with, hopefully, get something done on that, cause it's getting used a lot. Legal, just, we will have another invoice through June 30th, they bill at the end of the month, for the research on the board compensation question. Events and meetings, so tomorrow in Crystal Township is the Montcalm MTA meeting. I will be attending that. Kristen Millard is the speaker, gonna talk about election laws, so just FYI, I'm going to that. No updates on cemetery, and, getting closer to filing that qualifying statement, related to our audit. I did talk to, someone at the state on that, and we are, getting closer to be able to get that filed. Okay, moving into old business. So the first item on the agenda, old business, is the memo on board compensation, which we had decided as a board that we wanted the attorney to draft a memo to discuss what's previously been referred to as a deferred bonus and or deferred pension. Both terms have been used interchangeably. And we did receive the memo back from our law firm, which was provided to board members. It is subject to attorney-client privilege. However, the attorney did say it's okay for me to summarize a few of the highlights. So after looking over all the documentation that we provided her, the attorney concluded that what's been previously termed the deferred bonus and or deferred pension is really neither one of those things. It's not a bonus because it's not discretionary based on the quality of services provided throughout the year, nor is it a pension because it's not part of a qualified retirement fund. Further, after she looked into our paperwork, because this compensation has typically been approved prior to the start of the fiscal year, before any services are rendered, the attorney concluded that the payment itself is not unlawful, even though it gets paid out at the end of the fiscal year. It's basically been a kind of a delayed lump sum payment. The logistical error, if you will, is how this has historically been treated when a board member leaves office and a new board member takes office. In the past, it appears no proration took place based on the time served. So when someone new started, they got the full compensation amount regardless of how much time they served during the fiscal year. The attorney confirmed that was incorrect. Now last year, we did properly allocate the two outgoing members 10/12 of the amount based on their time served, 10 months out of the fiscal year. However, nothing was paid to the two incoming members, and the attorney confirmed that they should have received a prorated amount for their time served during the fiscal year. Going forward, the attorney recommends doing exactly what the board discussed at our budget workshop a few weeks ago, which is that this compensation should really be made part of each board member's base salary and paid out monthly as part of regular payroll, not in a lump sum at the end of the year. As far as fiscal year ending June 30th, 2024, the attorney said we can go ahead and prorate the amounts for the outgoing and incoming members based on time served and pay the full year board members the full year allocation. She also said that we should also catch up the previous allocation that was owed to the incoming members, from last May. Any questions or further discussion from the board on this? So next steps, I think, this normally get paid out in July, it should be paid as scheduled. I do want to make some separate motions on the prorated amounts. So I will make a motion to pay in July the daily proration of the fiscal year 24 scheduled deferred compensation amount to former treasurer Greaser from July 1, 23 to May 6th, 2024, and pay the daily proration from May 10th, 2024 to June 30th, 2024 to Treasurer Rushmore. Is there support for that?
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. Is there further discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll do roll call. Myers?
Yes.
Rushmore?
Yes.
Clark Hubbard, yes. Burnwald?
Yes.
Motion passes. And this, let's see here, next motion, I will make a motion to pay in July the daily proration of the fiscal year 23 scheduled deferred compensation amounts to Supervisor Clark Hubbard and Trustee Myers from 5/9/23 to 6/30/23. Is there support for that?
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, we'll go roll call again. Burnwald?
Yes.
Clark Hubbard, yes. Rushmore?
Yes.
Myers?
Yes.
Motion carries. We will work with Blaine on this, as far as getting all that taken care of. There's also, when we get into our budget amendments, I've got an item for the first, the treasurer proration. So we'll get into that in a second. The attorney also recommends that we perform payroll proration calculations to determine any amounts owed for earned compensation when an individual began employment. This is something I'd like to have Blaine work on next month, and then report it back to the board. This would be for current board members and the former treasurer to go back and take a look at when they started. The board has not been in the proper practice of prorating payroll. And we need to do that when people start and when people leave. Their checks need to be prorated. We don't just pay them their check and call it good. So I'd like to have Blaine look at that next month. Any other questions on this topic?
What about Todd now? He's done,
We'll talk about him later.
I'm just curious.
Anything else? Okay, did I hear something? We'll move right into the next item, which is library, the library board appointment. So we did have Ted Johnson, a longtime community member, a retired local pastor, submit a letter of interest in filling that vacancy on the Tamarack District Library Board. That term runs through the end of December, and he committed to filling that out and possibly renewing that. It's their 4-year terms. He's very active in the community, very active in fundraising. I think he'll be a great asset to the library board. So I will go ahead and make a motion to appoint Ted Johnson to fill the vacancy on the Tamarack District Library Board for Cato Township. Is there support?
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. New business. Treasurer position status. So Dutch has been doing a fantastic job as treasurer this past month or so. She originally committed to help us out for 30 days and has graciously extended that period. She has gotten the tax roll completed and the tax bill sent out. She also had to submit paperwork to get bonded through the county, which my understanding is all treasurers of the local units have to do. She scheduled the collection days and hours for the office and is planning to get the tax collection season underway. That being said, I did have someone reach out to me last week stating that they are interested in running for treasurer in this year's election. And that individual is Jamie Boehm of Lakeview, and she is here tonight. Thanks for coming, Jamie. She is a licensed real estate broker and also holds a bachelor's degree in management and accounting. I did speak with Jamie last week to fill her in on where the township is as far as the timeline of the summer tax collection process, and I also spoke with Dutch to get her thoughts. Given that Dutch is now so far along in the process and she's bonded through the county, I think it makes sense for her to manage the summer tax collection, and she's so willing. But she really could use a deputy treasurer to help with that process, and I think both Jamie and Dutch are agreeable to Dutch hiring Jamie as her deputy treasurer, and Dutch would be willing to serve out that remaining term, and Jamie could kind of job shadow her throughout the process of the summer tax collection and even kind of getting started with the winter, the process for getting with the winter database started. And then Jamie has expressed that she would like to run on the ballot in the election. First off, Jamie, thank you for your willingness to serve your community. It's greatly appreciated. I think you're a great candidate for this position. Dutch, did you wanna have any comments?
Well, I wanted to, just glad to get through it all, and that'll be great if we have somebody who's, sounds like really qualified, and that'll be a nice fit if you wanna roll in and be the deputy and see how things go, and that's really the best way to start. So, good luck, and look forward to it.
Yeah, so I'll let you guys can get together on that, and Jamie will have to take the oath of office once you officially hire her. And again, that's your decision as treasurer, we don't have to approve that as a board. And then Jamie, I do just wanna give you, your resume back, because we're not doing the interview process anymore, and just would like to, I'll give this back to you after the meeting, so it's not something we have to keep on file.
Should be right in,
I think there's a couple options. I think there's, couple options, so. Okay, this first item on new business. Next item. So we have this resolution, I didn't print for you, but you guys had it emailed. The resolution to adopt Township Investment and Depository, the Township's Investment and Depository designation. Basically just authorizing us to use Mercantile Bank and Community First Federal Credit Union for this fiscal year, and talks about what funds that the treasurer